Okay, this is my MilSim Labs rocket kit that I put together. This is the first day I've had to be out here since, I think, Saturday. It hasn't been raining or I haven't been feeling under the weather. Just give you a quick rundown. Had a couple of gotchas. Have the flip-up sights painted. First thing I did is I accidentally glued it on backwards and had to take it apart, put it back on there, got it glued in there right. As you can see, I tried to do like a woodland camo, dark woodland camo setup on it. Second gotcha I had on this is when I was cutting the fiberglass rod, I cut what I thought was a perfect length, found out it was a little short. I had to add a little plastic piece on the firing pin on the inside here so it would strike and hit well. Third gotcha was put it all together, put the bolts in, and I ground this bolt off right here to make sure that it doesn't come out. And then I realized I had put the pin on the bottom. Not really a problem, you know, instead of having it on the top and flip down, now when you hold it, you pull the pin out and it flips open this way. You have my high capacity Mad Bull shell in there, and I do have a safety pin, and I don't know if you can see on the video there, the little plastic piece I had to glue in there. One other thing that you'll notice here on this too is I have the trigger spring loaded, and it also is spring loaded in here when the safety pin's out. It's spring loaded in here so it moves the action back. Trying to save a little cash here. I didn't have a lot of the money for various other things that I wanted to get. Like I wanted to put a little piece of chain on here instead of this. Let me put it in this way. I want to put a little chain on it instead of putting on the leather wrap, but I did have this old AK butt pad on here that I put on here, stretched over, and it would fit fine, but then it would slowly slide up and off. So what I did is I put a little screw in there, keep it down. Now it's on there solid, grips into the shoulder really well, doesn't slide around. So then I just tied this piece of tie on here with the safety pin coming out, because that's the only thing I didn't have on that. And if people are asking why I have it on the left side, my idea is that I've got the rocket ready to fire. I can maintain my hand on here, reach across, pull the safety pin, and then fire. I did have some gas in the shell just to show you that. And as you can see, there's a real good spring loaded here, moving it back. Then you just put the old safety pin back in there again. Can fire now. Flip the sights down, good to go. Let's look at the rocket. I'm going to try a quick test flyer out here. I know I did say I was going to test it down at the arena, but I have a flare-up of Lyme's disease and I was not feeling that swift about going out and doing stuff. So I'm finally starting to feel better now. So I'll just shoot at some targets around here. We'll start at 65 feet and you get an idea on the range and accuracy. All right. One last thing I'll show. The rocket that Seth included, I'm going to be testing that one. Slide that in first. Slide my shell on top. They're flush together. Pin in. Set. And just so you see, safety pin in there, it will not fire. So now we're going to face the camera the other way and do a test fire. Here we are at 65 feet, that blue circle. I'll zoom in there so you get an idea. And I'm going to try to aim for the center of that and hope for the best. Pulling the safety pin, lining up my sight to see how good of a shot I am. I'm aiming a little high, but it did travel out there. Now I know that I got to aim down a little higher or down a little lower. I don't know if that captured on film, so I am going to pull back a little bit just so you can see, because I think that was like 3 feet above it. Interesting try. You've got to remember, I'm only 65 feet here from where the camera is to that tree. So we're gonna try to line it up and see how we do here. Okay, firing again. Oh yeah, take safety pin out. That actually works. Okay, now I was aiming too low on that one. That was about 4 seconds worth of gas, and I had the bottom bead on the sights trained in the middle of that. So I might have to put either a little more gas in it or aim just a little higher. Okay, let's try this again. I'm gonna see if I can get the sights where I want. Firing. I think it was the right height, I just completely missed. But boy, that sucker goes out there. That's 125 feet where it went out to. I might have rolled around a little bit, but might be the rocket, might be me. I just realized that I had bought 3 of these rockets off Seth before. These are the pre-cut ones, and they're a little bit better quality, so I don't know if it's going to help or not. Let's give it a shot again to see what we get. Well, it flew a little bit to the left, but I was aiming a little bit to the left because I went a little to the right, so it actually went where I was aiming at, so that's actually a pretty good test. Okay, just final look. See, this is the original rocket I was shooting. This is the one that Seth included, little pock mark, got the little nipple on the top I didn't get rid of. And here's the one I shot. It's a little bit better, smooth formed. Same rocket type, just a little bit smoother, and it fired pretty good. I think it's all on how you hit things and how much gas you put in, and 4 to 5 seconds worth of gas is probably more than you need for something like this. And at 65 feet, the bottom hole is a little too close. I had to go at the top of the blue target with the pin and stuff like that. So I'm very pleased with it. The only gotcha I'm thinking about is this on the left side does get in the way when you're taking the pin out, but if you're taking the pin out to change the rocket out, you want to put the safety pin back in anyway. The butt pad is excellent for gripping into your shoulder. It doesn't move. You can do it high, you can do it low, you can do it over your shoulder and hook in if you really want to. One thing I forgot to mention was I had an extra flange laying around. I threw it on the front. I don't know, it just adds a little different touch to it. Might help it out, like for looks. That's about it. Doesn't really help on the firing and that. So I think it's excellent kit. Couple of gotchas that I would suggest for Seth to do is actually include a pre-marked hole for the safety pin to be put in. Somebody could buy like a cotter pin or whatever, and a stop latch, which I actually put another pin back here. I forgot to mention that, so the latch doesn't come all the way back. I do have a spring here and a spring up here. I don't know if you can see that on the video. It's kind of hard, right? Here's a spring, so that the trigger returns. And in the front of this, I have a stop of hard foam, so the trigger will only go so far forward. I did make it a little thin for my finger. I tried it with a glove. I can still get my glove in there, and because there's a lot of play on that before it goes off, I think I'm good shape. The sort of mismatched woodland was something that I tried, and I did take Seth's example, and I did mark these a little bit blacker. They're a little bit harder or easier to see now. I originally had them, they were brown and green. It was sort of matching in with this. The only other thing I will do, and I actually have a piece of strapping material, is I'm going to hook a piece of rail on the outside here, like right here and right here, so that I got a small carry strap so I can put this over my shoulder and have it around my back, sling it off, and fire it. The polymer rail, I'm going to grind up a spot here, mix up a 2-part epoxy, put it on there. I put it on other plastic parts like this, and it's like concrete. You can't get it out. Should be enough to hold the strapping on. Worst case scenario, I can put a piece of a bond around there to hold that rail on. It's only going to be a little short piece, just enough to get a swing swivel or something on it. Or I don't know how I'm going to make the attachment. I was thinking rail would be the easiest way, but for now, I might even just put a sling around or a strap around or some paracord. And I think that's the most advantageous thing, is put some paracord around this. Piece of a small section of paracord, maybe about 4 foot long or 3 foot long, so it doesn't hang in the way. Maybe on the other side, so it straps over this side when you're firing, so that I can put it around out of the way. Other than that, excellent kit. When you sell these, I think they're going to be fantastic. People are going to dive on them, and you know, any kind of mods people do to them are going to make them a lot better. But this is a good, handy thing, easy to reload, quick fix. Have a couple of rockets with you and some gas out in the field, and you can have a good time knocking out some vehicles. I'd really like to get a video of this indoor if I get a chance. Shooting it at buildings, shooting it in doorways if we can. See how it works on an indoor arena type setup. Although I don't know if they want us to use it indoors, because maybe hitting somebody directly with this might be a little painful. I'm not sure. I don't think it'll be that bad, but you never know. The guy's insurance, he might not want to have it. But that's my review of my rocket, and only some shooting. Hopefully I'll get some more footage and we'll put it up as soon as possible. Hope you guys liked the review, and have a good day.